Despite the bright lights of the Strip, Southern Nevada actually has some of the best stargazing in the country. And right now is the peak of the Perseid meteor shower. So today in CityCast Las Vegas, I'm talking to the president of the Las Vegas Astronomical Society, Mig Ponce, about where and how to best take in the night sky in Las Vegas. This episode kicks off Night Week here at CityCast Las Vegas. We've got a slate of after-hours themed episodes all week, sponsored by the Neon Museum. They're, of course, an iconic nighttime destination here in Vegas, so stay tuned all week. It's Monday, August 11th. I'm Sarah Lohman, and here's what Las Vegas is talking about. Hey, before we get into it, I've got a favor to ask. CityCast is doing our annual listener survey, and it would really help us if you took it. If you took it last year, please take it again since we can't use last year's data anymore. Go to citycast.fm/survey to take the survey. It's only 7 minutes long. We timed it. That's citycast.fm/survey. And when you take the survey, you'll be eligible to win a $250 Visa gift card and CityCast Las Vegas swag. That's citycast.fm/survey. Thank you. Hi, Mig.
Hi there. Thanks for having me.
It's my pleasure. So this week marks the peak of the Perseid meteor shower. I have to admit, I have many fond memories of laying in my backyard in Ohio growing up watching the meteors with my mom.
Love that.
So for those who might not know, what are the Perseids?
So the Perseid meteor shower is an annual meteor shower. There are several dozen throughout the year, but the Perseids is known for being the primary one in terms of the most number of meteors, the brightest ones. It really is the most spectacular one. They tend to start, you get a few of them earlier in the month of August. There's no specific date, but the peak is right around the 10th to the 12th of August every year. This particular year, the peak is going to be the night of August 11th, which happens to be today.
Generally, if you're seeing a shooting star, like end of July, first half of August, like that's probably part of the Perseids.
Very likely it is. There are a few other lower count meteor showers that happen around that time. It's possible that it's part of those, but most likely you are seeing a Perseid. And at the peak nights, there tend to be about one a minute. They're known for having fast, bright meteors that sometimes leave trails. And every once in a while, if you're really lucky, you'll see one explode, and sometimes you'll even hear the pop from it.
That's cool. Or the like, shh. I've seen some big enough that like you hear that sizzle, which is so amazing.
It's such a neat thing, yeah.
So can you tell people, like, what are the Perseids and what are we typically seeing when we see a shooting star?
Sure thing. So the Perseid meteor shower is caused by debris from a comet that is called Comet Swift-Tuttle. This is a comet that orbits the sun about every 130 years. And as the comet orbits and the sun kind of melts it off, it leaves a little trail of debris. And as the Earth passes through that debris field at a very consistent, regular part of the year in the Earth's orbit, those little pieces of debris, which can be speck-sized, dirt-sized, maybe small pebble-sized or small rock-sized, as those enter the Earth's atmosphere, as the Earth passes through that debris field, they burn up in the atmosphere. And that is what we see as a meteor or a shooting star. The best way I like to say to picture this is the same reason why when you're driving through the desert, you get all the smushed bugs on your front windshield and not your back windshield. You want to be out observing at a time when the Earth is facing into the debris field. That doesn't mean they won't happen at all other times of the night or even the day. You wouldn't see them in the day, obviously. But after midnight is definitely best. If you're not up for staying up really late, then the later in the evening you can go as you're approaching midnight, 10, 11 p.m., that's when your chances are the best for seeing them. Although, really, with the Perseids especially, there's a decent chance that if you're in a moderately dark place, you'll start seeing them after the sun goes down.
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
during the summer, the sun goes down kind of late anyway.
Yeah, yeah. Last year, I actually went camping up Mount Charleston and then set an alarm for 2 a.m. and then got up. And at that point, there were also wild horses outside. And it was so dark, I couldn't see what it was. Scared the crap out of me, but whatever it was, I was like, well, it doesn't seem to want to get me, so we'll just exist out here. But I did
I
get to
love
see quite
that.
a few meteors. If I want to catch the Perseids, first of all, what direction should I be looking? Because they're not like all around us in the sky.
All right, so I got this wheel where I plot out the time, and that way I'll
It's
know
so
which
great. And
direction
it's
to look
laminated
in.
too.
It is. So what I'm doing is I line up the date, like August 11th, with midnight, and then I look on here and say, okay, where is Perseus? Perseus is coming up in the east to the north. Okay, cool. If you are out laying on a nice meadow out in the forest, wherever, you're just looking up at the sky, ideally after midnight, you are going to want to look to the northeast. That's where they are going to
Hmm.
appear to come from. If you know your constellations, or if you have one of those really neat phone apps that shows you the
Mm-hmm.
constellations, then you're going to look for the constellation Perseus, which will be up in the northeast at that time of night. Throughout the night, it's going to slowly travel more west, but at midnight, it's going to be in the northeast.
I didn't realize that that's how the Perseids got their name from the constellation Perseus.
Yes, they appear to radiate from that part of the sky
Hmm.
and other meteor showers. Every once in a while, one might make the news. It's named after the constellation or the part of the sky where it's at.
Hmm. Now, what are some good stargazing spots near Las Vegas? I assume that anywhere that might be good to see the Perseids is probably also a good place to go stargazing in general.
Yes, for sure, for sure. There are a number of spots. We really have quite a rich variety of spots around here. It's really an interesting irony that we live in one of the most light polluted cities
Yeah.
on Earth, but we have some of the darkest skies in the country
Yeah.
within a few hours' drive of us, or even closer. So, as for spots, there are a lot of them. It really just depends on how far you are willing to drive. Best one within 45 minutes of the city is probably El Dorado Canyon, which is out near the town of Nelson. That is
Hmm.
south of Las Vegas. I think, though, that to really get a decent night sky, you need to go minimum of 1 hour away. Fortunately, that's not too difficult. That's some good songs on the radio and a few road snacks,
Yeah,
and
really not too
you're
bad.
there. Yeah, a really good spot there is there is a hiking trail called the Redstone Dune Trail out by Lake Mead.
Hmm.
That parking lot there is a pretty good spot. It's about 1 hour outside of town. The virtue there, and this really depends on your circumstances, the virtue there is that that is a paved lot and there is a bathroom that is open 24/7.
I love to
It's
hear
not
that.
fancy. It's a campsite style bathroom,
It's
but
okay.
there is a bathroom if you do not want to rough it and go natural style.
I'm definitely always thinking about where I'm going to pee. So I love this. I love to hear
Yes.
this. Yeah, great.
Bring a
Okay.
flashlight. The bathroom there is not lit at night.
Yep.
Another spot that's an hour away that is really, really great is an area 1 hour south of Las Vegas called Aviquame National Monument. Many, many spots around there. You can just kind of pull off the road. Obviously, you want to get away from the road and headlights and so on, but really
Yeah,
good
We
spots
Thump
there.
is the kind of
Yes.
it's not quite a trail, right? It's a dirt road
Mhm.
essentially that goes off the main
Yeah.
road. Yeah.
I was just going to mention that one. We Thump is a wonderful space there in Aviquame National Monument. It's one of my favorite little spots to go to. And then one more within an hour is the backside of Mount Charleston up Lee Canyon, up
Mm.
in that area, McWilliams Campground. At the Lee Canyon at the ski lodge, they have a lower parking lot, which is big and open and flat, which would
Hmm.
be a really good place to go. And those are the ones within about an hour.
Because the mountain is essentially blocking the light pollution from the strip.
Yes, it helps a lot, which is why that side is better than the front side of Mount Charleston.
So those spots are within like an hour, give or take. Are there, if someone wants to camp out or go on a little bit of a longer road trip, are there some excellent spots a little further out that are worth it?
Yes, there really are. And again, the further away you get from Las Vegas, the better. There is a dark sky measurement scale called the Bortle scale, Bortle. And the lower the number is, the better. You can look up, there's a great website, which is darkskysites.com, SITES. If you look in a location, it will show you what the Bortle rating is. And the Bortle rating is how dark the sky is. So the 1 hour places are about a Bortle 4. 1.5 hours, you get to Bortle 3. About 2 hours away, you can get to a Bortle 2 site, and I'll mention what those are. And then beyond that, the darkest skies in the country are Bortle 1. By comparison, Las Vegas is a Bortle 9. But putting that all together, those spots that are an hour away are about a Bortle 4, and that is the minimum that you need to be able to see the Milky Way. At those spots, you will be able to see the Milky Way, assuming the moon is not bright and drowning them out. About an hour and a half away, if you go north on Highway 93, out by Coyote Springs Golf Course, or up towards Alamo, there are some great little spots to pull over, and those are quite dark skies. Within an hour and a half, you get to really pretty dark skies. If you want to camp, then the best place within a couple hours is probably Cathedral Gorge State Park. Also, you could go to Mojave National Preserve in Southern California. That is about 2 hours away. Those are the darkest skies in Southern California, also among the darkest skies in the country. But those are two really good spots. And then really to wrap it all up, the dark, dark, dark spots are if you head out 3 or more hours to the Grand Canyon, to Tonopah, or really the grand prize within a half a day's drive is Great Basin National Park.
Now, what about Death Valley? I thought Death Valley had some of the country's darkest skies, too.
You're right. I should have mentioned that one. Death Valley is also within that 2 hour-ish driving window, 2 to 2.5. That, by comparison, is about a Bortle 2, bordering on Bortle 1. So those really are very, very dark skies for being relatively close to here.
Hey, Las Vegas, ever look for a sign of what to do? Well, here's one, literally. The Neon Museum is offering a limited time deal just for Nevada residents. 50% off admission to one of the most iconic must-see spots in the city. That's right, half off to explore Vegas history through the glow of vintage neon signs. Just swing by the box office, show your Nevada ID, and you're in. No promo codes, no online hoops to jump through, just a classic local appreciation deal. Make it a night with friends, bring visiting family, or finally check it off your Vegas bucket list. Visit the Neon Museum and let the lights of old Vegas shine for you. Now, this dazzling deal won't last forever, so grab your tickets now and experience the glow before it's gone. Again, to apply the discount, just bring your Nevada State ID card to the Neon Museum and purchase your ticket at the door. To learn more, visit neonmuseum.org. One ticket per valid ID.
Got any fun trips coming up? One thing you probably haven't put on your packing list is learning the language. But with Babbel, you can start talking in just a few weeks. I'm David Plotz, the CEO of CityCast, and I've been learning Spanish with Babbel. And I also just persuaded my friend who's going to France this fall to learn French with Babbel, but that is another story. Babbel's extremely fun and intuitive. It's like having a private tutor in your pocket. Handcrafted by over 200 language experts, Babbel's lessons are voiced by real native speakers and built with science-backed cognitive tools and interactive features to fit any learning style. I love a lot of the different Babbel features. The Babbel games for sentence building, Babbel speech recognition, which helps me get the pronunciation right. And now I'm really into Babbel's word of the day, which greets me on the homepage of the app. Every day, a new word revealed like a little surprise with a sentence to help contextualize it. It's like a daily treat for me. Studies from Yale, Michigan State, and other leading universities continue to prove that Babbel works. One study found that using Babbel for 15 hours is equivalent to a full semester at college. Look, I want you to learn another language. So I'm teaming up with Babbel to gift you 55% off subscriptions, but only for CityCast listeners at babbel.com/CityCast. Get up to 55% off at babbel.com/CityCast. Spelled BABBEL.com/CityCast. Babbel.com/CityCast. Rules and restrictions may apply.
So what makes the Las Vegas area so good for viewing stars?
The Las Vegas area is really good for stargazing and, as I like to call it, astronomizing, because the eastern half of the country, by comparison, is so built up and so urban that you cannot really get to dark skies anywhere except for just a few places. But on the western side of the country, we have so much open land and wilderness that is not developed that this is where you can find the magical night skies with the amazing carpet of stars and the Milky Way just popping out at you, and everything's very vivid.
And I've heard, is there something about the low humidity here as well?
The low humidity definitely helps, and it helps not just with the seeing and observing because the atmosphere is a little less turbulent, but just in general, the sky will tend to be more clear when the weather is calm or still. Heat affects it, clouds affect it, everything's going to affect it in some way, but for the most part, the desert generally offers pretty good conditions for being able to stargaze at night.
You know, you mentioned that we're not so built up. We still have a lot of like BLM land out here. I imagine development is one of the threats to a dark sky area. You know, are there other threats to preserving our dark skies?
Yes, really, development is the big one. And particularly lately, there are initiatives to sell off a lot of public land, which definitely affects this. One thing, though, that people don't necessarily think about is what type of lights get used. The type of lights that Las Vegas is known for are pretty detrimental to stargazing. The light cone of Las Vegas is visible 100 miles away. But there are things that smaller areas can do, such as astronomy-friendly street lighting. This is a thing. There are certain types of street lights that are more amenable to astronomy. A big thing is if they can just even aim the light downward at the street from the top of the pole rather than in every direction.
Do you find that people don't necessarily value or appreciate darkness? Is there an awareness of the value of darkness?
There is definitely a lack of awareness. There is definitely an increasing awareness. We and other astronomical societies and other entities like Dark Sky International and Dark Sky Nevada are always working to promote awareness. Local places like Aviquime National Monument and also Red Rock Canyon are working on what's called a dark sky designation, which is certified by the International Dark Sky Society. And that is a process by which they are showing steps that they take to both preserve dark skies, measure dark skies, measure the amount of light, and also promote dark skies to people. So what we're all trying to do there is just get the awareness out, because the first time somebody looks through a telescope and has that aha moment, it's exhilarating for them. It's an absolute blast for us because we like showing these things. And there's just nothing like looking through a telescope for the first time, seeing another galaxy or a cluster of 1 million stars or one of the close ones, but it's also one of the most spectacular is seeing the rings of Saturn with your own eyes for the very first time is unforgettable.
So what happens if we lose darkness?
If we lose darkness, then there's a lot that gets lost with that, both for observing and enjoyment, but also for just astronomical understanding. We launch space telescopes sometimes because there's just too much light pollution around here. We also launch them because there are certain types of light that can only be seen from outside the Earth's atmosphere. But for the most part, the light pollution of the Earth, it's been estimated, is growing about 10% every year, which is very, very rapid. In addition to just enjoyment and understanding and natural beauty, animals also use dark skies and the moon to navigate to some extent. This has been demonstrated through research to navigate, but also their body clock kind of relies on it. So things like that really can throw off Mother Nature in that way. And if you think about it, it's kind of like you turn the lights out when you go to bed at night. If you keep the lights on in your bedroom all day and all night long, you start forgetting what time it is. You don't sleep well. It really just kind of throws off your rhythm. So it's not just human beings that need the concept of night in their life.
I've also heard that you now do astronomy tours with your own company, too.
Yes, I have recently incorporated in the state of Nevada as Stardust Astro Tours. The website is that, all one word, stardustastrotours.com. And that is a little different from our club offering. Our club offering is public events where you go and the public can show up and look through telescopes. What I do with Stardust Astro Tours is private tours. So it's just you and a couple of friends, or you and a small group, and it's very personalized. We're going to a dark sky location that I am choosing based on the day's weather conditions and various other conditions.
Cool.
And we will be out there for a few hours and look at 2 to 3 dozen different deep sky objects that will blow your mind and that you've probably never seen before.
Mig, why do you feel it's important we all take a moment to look up and take in the night sky?
Really, the fundamental thing, there are scientific reasons that people might want to preserve a dark sky. There are philosophical reasons, such as marveling at the expanse of the cosmos. But I think really just fundamentally, there is nothing more beautiful than nature, and in particular at night, when nature transforms from the landscape that we see, such as here in the desert, transforms to this just amazing night sky full of stars and the occasional meteor and all sorts of things to marvel at. It's just a stunning sight. I get excited every time I see it. I'm kind of known for doing a little happy dance at the star parties. Also, it's kind of humbling and really gives us a sense of our place because you realize just how big everything is out there. And everybody seems to know that our sun is a star. But when you look up and you're seeing hundreds, if not thousands of these, and you understand that we are part of a galaxy and there are other galaxies out there and things are showing us light traveling billions of years, it's really, really just kind of humbling and mind-blowing. I think it's a type of perspective that I think every human being should experience or understand.
Mig, thank you so much for joining us today.
Sure. Thank you for having me.
That's all for today here on CityCast Las Vegas. If you enjoyed this show, why not tell a friend? You can rate our show and leave us a review too, and subscribe to our morning newsletter. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Take care.